Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Tech Chit Chat Show. If you're new here, my name is Ken. You can find me on Northern Viking every day and Northern Viking Explorer on YouTube. I'm here with my mighty co-host, Stephen Loney on YouTube and 8-Bit Warrior on Twitter. Hello, Stephen. I love your shirt right off the bat. Nice and yellow. It brightens my day.
Yes. I didn't realize it, but it should suit today quite well with a couple articles we have on hand. So
yeah. Do you know what that says underneath the PlayStation part?
Yeah, it says PlayStation.
No, underneath. I'm assuming that's Japanese.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
You don't know, so it could be something really rude, and
it could be.
Do you think it says PlayStation?
I was wondering about that. I don't even want to make a guess because somebody could be like, technically. This is the internet. I don't want to make anything like a bold claim.
Yeah. If you know what that says, leave it in the comment section below. We'd love to
To show that off a bit, there's also like 1995, the original model number.
That's like the vintage model number. So
yeah.
So we've got Import Race here this morning saying hello, Import Race. Welcome.
Good morning, Import Race. Hello to you.
So yeah, we've got a fun little show planned for you guys today. We're going to talk about some malware that's come up on some older motherboards baked into the BIOS. I don't want to say baked, but kind of baked in there. We've got some AMD noise cancellation stuff we want to chat about, as well as some, I don't know if you want to call it PlayStation news, but PlayStation maybe news, some of it. So we have a kind of a fun show for you today. I know there hasn't been a ton of tech news over the summer, so we've been struggling actually to come up with stuff to talk about. But yeah,
especially things that we want to talk about.
Yeah, things that we're kind of interested in. So that's we could go talk about random things, but
we want to be we want to be interested.
We don't want to spend the summer talking about Facebook. Let's put it that way.
No.
Did you have a good long weekend?
Yeah, I believe I did. Again, every Tuesday, I can't remember the weekend. By the time we get to Tuesday, it's like gone. It was a good weekend. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
I actually spent the Monday holiday actually programming yesterday, getting caught up on stuff. So
that's awesome.
It was good.
Yeah, and everybody is asking us, what a long weekend? Why was I at work? We're in British Columbia, and it was BC Day weekend, so we got a long weekend here. So I don't think down south in the US, I don't believe it was a long weekend, but
yeah, they don't have BC Day down there. Probably not.
No. So they might have had something else, but
yeah.
If you did have a holiday where you're at, tell us what it's called. It's BC Day here in British Columbia. So
to be honest, I did not know what the day was. I just know we had it off. I didn't even know what it was. So
yeah. We spent a couple days at the lake swimming, getting swimmer's itch. So yeah, there's lots of swimmer's itch going around right now. I think
as you guys can see, Ken is the one with the nicer tan than me.
Well, it was over 100 degrees here this week, so Fahrenheit. So like 40 Celsius, so it's hot.
Yeah,
it's hot.
That's warm.
So, and then you go to the lake on top of that, you definitely get some sun. So
yeah.
And forest fire season is upon us. There's a big one about an hour south of us here as well. So it's not smoky here yet, but hopefully it stays away.
Yeah.
Maybe the wind will blow all the smoke in your direction.
Yeah, right. If it doesn't get you, it could be coming to us. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay, fine.
Awesome. Well, shall we dive right into it today?
Yeah.
Or do we want to talk about Doritos or something?
No, but cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Happy
cheers.
Tuesday. Cheers. If you guys have coffee, have a drink, come join us, come chat.
You have your fancy dancy coffee there. Is that a double-walled mug? I know you guys have some double-walled
mugs. No, this is just a more regular kind of mug, but
oh, I like the double-walled ones.
I know. I was looking at it this morning. I was kind of amazed by it. Anyway.
So actually, for those of you that are new to us, I know Import Race, I don't think we've met you in the past. What we do here is Stephen and I, for years, we're actually brother-in-laws. We've always gone to coffee shops and just sat around talking about tech and just shooting the breeze. And we thought we'd bring that to you guys and basically invite you into our coffee shop talk on tech, where we just ramble about stuff we've seen in the news. So this is really casual. We do invite you guys to make comments and just follow along, ask questions, make comments, and and join us. And cheers again to you there, Import Race. We appreciate you joining us. So
and help us sound less stupid when we make mistakes and say
because we actually we're not as smart as we look.
That's not a good thing, because we don't even look good to begin with. So
if I take my glasses off, I look less smart. So I just put them on for this.
Keep them on.
Keep them on.
We'll lose subscribers.
Well, let's dive into you know what, we got like 5 subscribers in the last week or something. I'm really impressed with that. That's more than we had already, almost.
I don't know why, but somewhere. So happy. Cheers to all those who are new, and welcome.
If we keep saying I wonder why people subscribe to us, we probably won't get any subscribers. That's the problem.
Okay, we'll keep talking.
Why would anyone subscribe to us? Go ahead and subscribe right now if you haven't already. All right, let's dive into this. Motherboard malware. Wow.
Can that happen?
So you sent me this article the other day, and honestly, I didn't have a lot of time to read it, but I was like, Gigabyte motherboards with malware?
Right.
Uh-oh. Right. I'm hooked because I have a Gigabyte motherboard. And I'm sure a lot of other people do, as well as Asus motherboards.
But just a head start, though, you don't really need to worry for yourself. But yes, that is a valid concern. But
yeah. So let's start out by saying that this isn't something that Gigabyte or Asus has done.
Absolutely.
And the suspicion is that it's coming through used motherboards being resold.
Yeah.
So let's start out by saying that, because I think that's important. So let me pull up this article here. So there's been found the Cosmic Strand UEFI malware has been found on Gigabyte and Asus motherboards.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is, if I can, maybe I'll kind of say it in a basic terms, and you can expand on that, Stephen. So what they think has been happening is, I think this is older motherboards. I think it was around 2016 or 2015, somewhere in there. They believe that they were buying motherboards or taking motherboards and reflashing them in the BIOS with a malware. Yeah. So even then you install Windows, and basically every time you start up your computer, the malware is getting reinstituted into the Windows as it's loading up. So every time you load up your computer, you are infected.
You can't get rid of it.
Yeah, unless you maybe were able to reflash the motherboard.
Yeah,
which most people don't know how to do.
It's a more painful area of being infected, because if you reinstall your operating system, it doesn't fix it.
Yeah.
If you reinstall like different drives and hardware, it doesn't fix it. You have to deal with the BIOS level, and a lot of people are not going to want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us, like you and I, might be handy enough to figure it out, and if you had to, but a majority of people are going to be like, "What is the BIOS? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And more specifically, it seems to tying into like what's called the UEFI. I'm reading from here the Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. But that is like the point of where the computer, that's like the really early part when you go on your computer. That's kind of like what's working and setting things up. And so this malware seems to be working with the very low level interface of your computer. So, but yeah, as you mentioned, this does seem to be boards that are being resold on the used market from around, I think you're right, like 2014 to 2016.
Yeah, there was, so they could definitely be in a lot of computers if you're running kind of that 5-6-year-old computer. It's potential for it to be there as well. So there was a couple of names for it as well. So Kaspersky Antivirus is calling it the Cosmic Strand, and I don't even know.
And there's also Qihu
360, or I think that's how you say it, is calling it the Spy Shadow Trojan.
Yeah.
So that's a malware analyst. So, it's kind of funny because we're just talking about flashing your motherboard. Like, most people don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole unless you're into building computers. I was kind of laughing because last year when I bought my motherboard, I believe you were there with me at the computer store, and they're like, "Oh, would you like us to flash your motherboard for you to the updated BIOS?" I'm like, no, don't touch it. And it was a gigabyte motherboard because I wanted to do it myself.
Yeah.
But
you're the weird guy who said no.
Yeah, and they're like, it was almost like, "What? You don't want us to flash it for you?"
It's like nobody wants to do that.
I'll do it myself. So, yeah, it was kind of funny, but
well, it is and not that I trust the company that did it there, but how would you know if there was like some shops that were even doing it themselves and they were doing?
For sure, I bought mine from a major reputable shop, but if you're buying your motherboard from a shady back alley computer shop, you never know if they're installing some sort of similar Trojan or malware into the. You don't know what they're getting paid to do from some foreign country or whatever, right? So, So I guess moral of the story too: if you are going to flash your motherboard, make sure you're not downloading it from a third-party site. Make sure you're getting it from the official website.
Easy for you to say when your motherboard is not from 2011.
Well, the funny part is, I know that I
may have downloaded from a sketchy site of BIOS, and it worked. Okay,
that's what I'm kind of laughing at, because I think you could. Your motherboard manufacturer maybe
it's totally infected right now.
Doesn't. Did they not exist or didn't support it? Or
my motherboard. I had a Intel motherboard from 2011, and then Intel dropped support for it like 2 years ago, so I couldn't get the drivers anymore. So I had to go to like some less than. I didn't know kind of what they were sites, but they had the driver for the BIOS, and it worked.
I hate having to do that when you go to some, because it's like not supported, but I'm like, this should still work, and then you have to go to some weird site to.
The main thing is, so if you get the file from that site, don't click on the added files to it. Like sometimes you'll get a zip file and has the actual file, but it'll also have like its own custom installer. And you're like, nope, I'm going to get rid of you, and I'm going to keep just the file I need, right? Yeah. So there may have been a virus somewhere else, but as long as you just take the part you need, throw away the rest, and you keep
So
going.
are you saying that article was about you? Did you write that article?
No, okay. My motherboard's too old for that article, so I'm probably safe here. Actually, that one. That's where you're fine, because like that was the older motherboards that apparently it was taking advantage of a legacy boot option or something. So my feeling is that there was some kind of like legacy support option in there that may not even be in the modern Gigabyte and Asus boards. So it seemed that the malware was like hijacking itself by possibly even changing the setting, turning the setting back on and like using it or something. So it seems to be that range of boards, which makes sense. So
do you think you know how Windows 11 needs that trusted, is it platform TPM, or do you think that that's something that would protect from that?
I don't know enough about TPM to know how far it goes to do that. I'm not thinking out loud. I have a feeling that it wouldn't be able to even touch this. But maybe. I don't know. I don't know how far TPM goes to secure a computer. Maybe it does, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, for me, I'm just kind of curious if this could even be done on. Well, I'm sure anything can be done, but like as easily be done on a modern current motherboard that supports TPM. I guess it's 2.0 or whatever it was.
This is a caution for even for myself though, is if you are buying off the used market. This is more of a concern, not for the new market, but for the used market, I would say is more of a concern. If you're buying that range, 2014, or even anything older, 2014, 16, Especially if you're buying off like some of these sites that are not as, you don't know where the seller's from, what's going on. Maybe make that your first thing to check when you get it, to be like, check if there's anything sketchy in the BIOS. See that you can get into the BIOS, see what the version is, see that the version number matches up with the latest version BIOS by the manufacturer. And even if it looks to be the same, get that BIOS, reinstall it manually anyway if you can. Like, see if you can, if you have concern.
Because I have a MSI motherboard from right in that era.
Right, you do.
And I know I did buy it used.
But you bought it from the first owner.
Yeah, and there was even stickers of I knew which computer store he bought it from. It was a very reputable computer store. But it's right in that range. And I have reflashed the BIOS on that as well. So just because that's what I like to do in my spare time.
You like to put malware on your motherboards?
I just flash motherboards in my spare time for the fun of it.
That's an interesting. When they have like those talk, you want to get the chat and people, they tell something about you when you give a talk. This is Ken Meyerberg, and he runs the YouTube channel and likes to flash BIOS.
Yeah, I like to flash motherboards and take long walks on the beach.
There you go.
All right. That's what this is all about. All right. Let's move on. AMD Noise Suppression. So AMD. So you've used NVIDIA Broadcast, right?
Yes.
Is that what it's called? So AMD has come out with kind of competition for in the NVIDIA Broadcast lowering background noise. AMD has come out with basically their competition for that.
Yeah, for the noise suppression part. Yeah,
the noise suppression. And let me pull this up here for you guys. So
T-shirts.
So
that's what I see first. Is like, all right.
Let's look at the ads. I like the Santa Claus one. I should buy that for Christmas. AMD's Adrenal Edition 22.7.1 adds real-time noise suppression. So this will remove background noise like garbage trucks and kids playing and different things from your streams, from your voice chats, different things like that. Now it says it will run with PCs equipped with Ryzen 5000 series CPUs or higher, or a Radeon RX 6000 series or newer GPU.
So you can technically run it off because of your CPU. You support it, but you already have an NVIDIA video card anyway. So
I do, but it would be interesting to play with for sure. Yeah, right. And as I say that, I can hear the garbage truck outside right now. It's kind of funny. It's grass clipping day and garbage day, and it's funny that they always come right during our stream. That's okay.
They're welcome to.
If you can hear the garbage truck, please comment in the comments. We'd love to hear.
Well, you should just go out there and tell them to come join us. They can grab a coffee, come talk chat tech.
We almost said that wrong. We've been wondering how long it would take before we really slip up on how we say the tech chit chat show. Say that past 10 times.
No.
Don't. Anyway, so this noise suppression for and other people's mics as well for streams. I'm not sure how that works.
Like if you're listening to people's, you can run the output.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, because I was like, it reduces, but if you're listening, that could be cool as well. So really handy. I know I played with it a little bit. You played with it probably more than I have for the NVIDIA Broadcast. If it's anything like that, it actually works really well.
Yeah, generally does work pretty good. You will lose some audio quality sacrificed for just being able to hear somebody. So it's really nice in certain situations. I've used it before. I was recording a video where like my dog was in the background like barking at me, and it was like cutting, like there was just noises going on. I was able to record this video and put it up, get it out, and it was good enough to be like, that's fine. Where there would have been just more noise and stuff, maybe more distracting. So Yeah, I like that. I like this technology. I like that it's there. I like having. I don't always use it, but I like having the option to use it when it makes sense.
Now, if you do go to the description, there is an article, and in that article, there's a little video on it as well. If you'd like to watch that, on kind of how it is set it up and how it works. I think it's a great little feature. Just opens it up to more people who weren't able to use NVIDIA Broadcast, and it's just kind of a cool add-on for your computer.
One thing I'll throw in is so like I have an NVIDIA card in my other machine, but the one I think I hear the garbage truck. Is that it?
I don't know. Yeah, he goes around the corner. He goes around the corner, then he backs up and turns around, and then he comes down the other side of the street. I don't know. He seems to do like 3 donuts and 360s right in front of my house. So.
That's impressive in a garbage truck.
Yeah. The annoying part is I know one of the garbage truck guys here in Kelowna, and he's always like, yeah, I'm gonna like drive your garbage truck down the street and stuff like that. So I'm like, he hasn't yet to do it because he's always switching where he's delivering, but I'm just waiting for him to leave my garbage bins way down by the stop sign.
Well, if you see him, tell him to come stop in and have the garbage man.
He would totally. He actually has a viral video on Facebook that's got multiple million views of him going through a car wash on his Harley.
Well, we should have him on a show once. You should get him on your famous garbage man friend.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So this noise suppression is only for the newer 5000 series CPUs and 6000 series AMD GPUs. But just before our call, I was looking up, again, not recommended. Of course, I'm the one looking at this, like unofficial drivers for supporting older GPUs as well, because I do have an old like RX 460 just for like this computer down here for streaming and stuff.
I've got a used Gigabyte motherboard I could sell you from 2015. You can use that with.
Perfect. Some unofficial AMD drivers, a sketchy old motherboard. We're good.
Sorry, what were you saying?
So anyway, there's a potential to use this noise suppression on older AMD GPUs as well, but you're gonna have to get yourself a sketchy unofficial driver. So okay. I'm not gonna officially recommend it, but it's kind of there.
We're not going to direct you to any sites where you could find them either.
I'm not linking it. It's on you. I'm just saying that I might try it later, but I'll let you know if I get hacked.
Do you have any in AMD GPUs? Yeah.
So the computer that I'm on right now here has an AMD RX 460, which is not an amazing card, but it's good enough for enough stuff. So, and then if I want to game at like 720p, yay, it's fine. But my other rig I have upstairs is a GTX 1070. So I don't have the 20. I used to have a 2080, which I sold. So I use NVIDIA Broadcast on that. The 1070 doesn't actually support broadcast, so I have to use like the older noise suppression for that one. But anyhow. Yeah.
Well, cool. Cool. All right. So let's move on to the PS5. Import Race has a RX 580.
Yay! Oh yeah, I have one of those too. Actually, technically, but it's in another. Anyways, yeah.
Had the RX 580. So
you had.
I don't know if he still does.
Yeah, that's actually.
What are you using now? Oh,
well, that's a jump.
Don't burn down your house, man. That thing's like
the RX 580 wasn't like not bad for 1080p gaming. It's pretty decent, but a 3090, it's quite the jump, bud.
Yeah. Do your neighbors' lights go out in their house or dim when you turn your computer on?
Have you heard about the 4090? That apparently the power requirement for that.
It's apparently going to be huge.
Okay.
Like, was it 1200 watt or something?
Oh, I think I heard 800.
850 or something.
That's a lot.
Now okay. Don't quote me on anything. It's a lot.
Import Race seems to have heard about
it's
that.
It's like 10,000. It's a lot.
Import, are you laughing because of your neighbor's lights dimming or because of the 4090? 600 watt. Okay, 600 watt. Yeah, still that's a lot of power. We're getting near to like microwave territory here. So can we like boil some eggs while we're like gaming?
My internet cuts out when we use the microwave, so I just have to make sure no one is making popcorn right now. Otherwise, we're in trouble. All right, let's jump back into it. So we're going to chat about the PS5 a little bit.
Yeah.
So recently in the first quarter earnings call, it was asked to, let me pull this up here. I'm going to totally butcher this. The Chief Financial Officer, Hiroki Totoki, was asked if there's going to be a price increase on the PlayStation 5, and his answer was extremely vague. They have not said there's going to be a price increase, but his vagueness made everyone think there could be a price increase, especially since Sony has already increased the price on Blu-ray players, I believe, and audio systems.
Right. And there's a Blu-ray player in the PS5, so
yeah,
it's a very linked technology.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like, this is very much in trend with other stuff just getting pricier. This is just the reality of pretty much all the markets are inflating. So therefore, it kind of makes sense that they have to. We might end up with a generation of console that could be more expensive near the end than at the start.
Yeah.
This is...
Yeah. Well, I think eventually they'll come back down, but like we could see it start here, go up, and then slowly come back down. But everything is like, everything with silicon chips or whatever you want to call them, potato chips, is like soaring. Yeah. Potato chips too are soaring in price. Anything with a chip seems to be in super high demand and soaring in price.
Right.
And
well, and they mentioned how Meta has increased the price of Quest 2 that they mentioned in the article by $100. So it wouldn't just be Sony increasing stuff if this starts to happen. I would not be surprised at all.
Well, and what they have going for them. So I think in here it said it sold, was it 22 million? Where was it? 21.7 million units to date since its release. And there was expected to be, I think, another 18 million by the end of the year. But there's still such demand. Like you might randomly see a PlayStation 5 in a store because you were there on the right day, but it's not like the shelves are full of them like you used to see with the PS4, PS3, PS2, etc. So, and the same with the Xbox as well. I haven't heard anything about price increases on the Xbox, but you can imagine if PlayStation's raising their price, that Xbox would probably do the same thing as well.
Yeah, I may have just disappeared for a second.
You did disappear, or your lights went out. Did the electrician come back in and shut your power down again?
No, I'll come back in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I disabled it. Never mind. Oh no, there, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back.
Technical difficulties. So
no, I was actually trying to turn on my PS1 and have it show up, but I forgot that I disconnected one device to chat today, and I disconnected my capture.
Gotcha.
Anyways, I'll try next time.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, let's so increases. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I'm actually more curious on this Christmas how hard it'll be to get a PlayStation 5 still.
Right. And has it already been difficult the last 2 Christmases to get one?
Yeah, it's been. I mean, usually I remember for the last consoles. So I bought the PS3 and PS4 on launch day, or within, at least pre-ordered the PS3 and got it like a week later. We both did that.
You bought 2 PS3s or 3?
Yeah. 2 or 3? No, 2. And you took one of them, and then I took the other one. But within like 6 to 8 months, you seem to be able to see them on the stores. Like the second Christmas, you were able to get them. But now I think we're going into 3 Christmases here, the 3rd Christmas, and I'm guessing you're still not going to see them on the shelves. So
yeah.
Whereas if you wanted a Switch, there wasn't really problems getting those. I know that came out sooner, but still Xboxes seem to be few and far between as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
I could be wrong, but I feel like the Switch's technology is not as hard to get production of. I feel like it's a more accessible technology.
Well, it's not as powerful, so the chips are probably far more mass produced and easier to get and cheaper. And
because the PS5 has like even just I just have a feeling that it's just where Nintendo could be in a good situation like that, because they could still be struggling too. I don't know, I haven't looked into it, but if your hardware is easier to produce and manufacture right now, it seems kind of like a good place to be.
No, that's for sure. Hey, you know what? We got a Facebook thumbs up again. Who's watching on Facebook? Wow.
It's Cody's mom again, isn't it?
Is Cody out there?
Cody, if you're watching, give us a wave. And if you're not, I just feel awkward waving the
and then I'll be like, who's watching on Facebook if it's not Cody? Is that a thing? Is Facebook still around? Yes, it is.
Hey, it's Cody.
It is Cody. Wow.
Hi, Cody. Cody, are you gonna be buying? Are you gonna be buying a PS5 soon? I know the answer is no, but I just thought I'd poke him and ask.
The good old PlayStation. All right, we had another kind of sort of PlayStation thing we wanted to talk about. So Backbone and PlayStation have come together to make a mobile gaming controller for your iPhone, if you're an iPhone user. Hello, Cody. Thank you for saying hi. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
For your iPhone, if you use one. And the cool thing about this, so it's following last year's Xbox version of this, apparently. But the cool thing about this is it does definitely resemble a PlayStation controller. You've got your triangle, square, X, and you definitely feel the influence of PlayStation on this. Allows you to play your PS4 and PS5 games on your smartphone or tablet, like with the, I guess, is it the streaming mode? And so, but it's only available for iPhones.
No, I think it was Android as well, wasn't it? There was an Android version of it.
Well, so the PlayStation version is only on, like the one that works with, put together by PlayStation. So there is this one here, which works with Android.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or that's still learned for Android. So the Android version looks like it has a USB-C connector versus I don't know what the iPhone connector is called.
The lightning port or something.
Yeah, the lightning port or Apple connector. We'll just call it an Apple connector.
Sure.
So, but it's pretty cool device that just kind of makes it. You know what? I saw this and I was like, it just looks really Switchy, like Nintendo Switchy feeling, doesn't it? Like I know it's not, but it kind of does.
Yeah, a bit, but yeah.
So because it works with, you can play.
Can you also call it pretty Steam Decky?
Yeah,
like I mean, the people aren't deviating too far from a certain design.
Well, it says launch the Backbone app and start playing your favorite mobile, console, and PC games from anywhere in seconds. Like it's actually a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty competent piece of hardware for like actually making gaming on the phone good. But there was one downside for me on this one.
Yeah,
is in Canadian pricing, it's like $139.99, $140 Canadian. So about 100 probably in 120.
Yeah, $139.99 Canadian. So probably $100 or a little over $100 US.
That's not a small amount to have a controller for, like, because you could just get I mean, that's nice.
But like an Xbox controller like this is like $80.
Yeah, I guess we're there. I guess that's the price today.
Like, so it's.
I still think controller should just be like $50, $49.99, and that's. But maybe I'm
because I think aren't the Switch. I don't know what they're called. Handles. I think they're $100 or close to it. And not are they? Whatever they're called. I think they're $100 Canadian.
Oh wow.
So they're not cheap.
No.
You get the two little ones. So
yeah, but that's one controller. Like that's. That's pricey.
So, let me ask you two questions then. Is this something that you would like? If it was free, would you use it?
Yes.
And then that being said, how much would you pay? How much would you pay for it?
How much would I want to pay for this?
Yeah.
I'd want to pay $80 for this.
$80. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think if they were in line with like an Xbox or PlayStation controller, I think that would be.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a novelty. Welcome, Ducky. I believe he's referring to the Switch controller as being $100. So, yeah, I think it's a cool concept, especially if you. I don't know. It just seems really handy if you kind of want it a little bit more mobile. Don't want to have to. You want to lay in bed playing your games rather than in front of your TV or whatever.
Especially if this works well with the Steam's streaming service too, and that kind of if it worked nicely with Steam games, that would be really. I just realized recently, just learned that Steam has like a way to stream to your phone. I should have known this. Somehow I missed this information. I'm like impressed with how well it works. So if that worked well with Steam games as well and your PS4 collection and just like that, actually doesn't seem gimmicky to me. It actually seems like a way to make mobile gaming competent.
Well, like you think about this, I have to say that's right. I want to say it's the Steam Deck, not the Stream Deck. I always get that mixed up. Stream Deck is the little pushy thing. If there's a way to eventually your phones, especially the new phones, are so powerful that like you should be able to game on them. And maybe you don't need a device like this Stream Deck if there's a way to play those games on your computer competently where you're not swiping all over the screen. And
even when developing I was working on a project with a game, like a puzzle game I was working on, and I was testing putting onto my Android phone to get it working, and I hooked up a Bluetooth controller to the phone, and it just felt really good. As soon as I put a controller hooked up through Bluetooth to the phone playing on the phone, it felt really good. It's like, this is competent. Like, this is great. So it might be, I would like a trend of seeing on mobile gaming getting away from touch control all the time and have some expectation for actual controller support as a standard would be nice. So it feels good. Feels good. You said, especially if your phone has a little stand on it, you can just sit in your desk and play. And it actually feels pretty good.
You're going to be like, what the heck is that? This little piggy is the coolest little thing. It's like, they're like $2-3, but they're a suction cup. Take your phone, you stick it on the back, and then you can just put it on your desk as a stand.
Yeah, okay, so my phone's case has the stand built in. You just tuck it out and you put it down, and it's convenient. So
the little piggy is better. These are my favorite things.
And how much does a little piggy cost? Are you selling them?
You can buy them on Amazon. Just go look for a link.
Are they sponsoring our episode today?
No, the little piggy is not sponsoring our episode. I picked this up at London Drugs. I think it was like $3 or $4 or something. $3. So I probably paid too much. They're probably like you might accidentally get one instead of a gumball when you're in the vending machine. So from there, we kind of wanted to do a quick update on Chrome OS Flex as well this week.
Before we do that, just a little blurb. Ken, what happens at 100 subscribers? Why are we trying to get to 100 subscribers?
At 100 subscribers, you can see Steven's beautiful face and my amazing face in high def streaming 1080p as long as our internet connection can handle it. We want to bring that to you in high def. So we're going to upgrade once we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. So don't worry if you're watching us on Facebook there, Cody. We don't need 100 followers there. It's just over here on YouTube.
they're not as important over there.
We still love you, Facebook. And honestly, if you're watching us on Spotify, not just listening, but actually watching us on Spotify, please leave us a comment, because I want to know if anyone actually watches us on Spotify. And everybody watching right now is going, what? You can watch on Spotify? Yeah. Apparently you can.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's
even if you're listening to on any of the podcasting stations as well, maybe like send us a message through here or somewhere else. Message us and like through our Twitter, be like, hey, we actually listen to the podcast, because it's hard to stay connected with that side of people.
Yeah, and where you're from. I love hearing where people are from, because
we want to send you some used motherboards from 2014.
Yeah, I've got some used motherboards for sale. some Asus and Gigabyte motherboards.
We're doing a giveaway.
Our first giveaway.
Anyway.
Yeah, preloaded with
our special software.
Updated BIOS.
Ken did it himself because he loves it.
So, we just wanted to touch on the Chrome OS Flex. Let me do a bit of a backstory. I've had this laptop sitting under my couch here in my office for probably a year that I've been waiting for Chrome OS Flex to become official, because I wanted to put it on there. I know I could have done it a while back, but I just wanted it to be official because I actually wanted to make a video on doing it. And so I went to go do that, and I installed it on that laptop, and the screen was just black, and I couldn't actually get it to load up on there. That was a really old laptop. It's from when my wife went to college, so it might have been too old. So then I was like, well, how am I gonna film this? So I'm probably the only one out there with a gaming laptop with Chrome OS Flex on it. So you can mock me now. It's overkill. I know, and I'll probably be switching it back to Windows soon enough, but I want to make some videos on the topic. Most people don't have a gaming laptop with Chrome OS on it. I don't know anyone, at least. But I have some thoughts on it. It was really easy to install.
Right.
If you are wanting to try it out, you can, when you go to install it, you can actually, there's two options to install it where it deletes everything on the computer. So be careful if you're doing that. Or you can actually install it or load it up off of your SD drive, USB drive. Oh, that's not even one. That's a SD card reader. But anyway, trying to trick you there. Yeah. I'm trying to trick you with my SD card reader.
I wouldn't know the difference from here now.
So you can actually load it up off of that if you want to try it out. So it's kind of a cool little option. I haven't had a ton of time to play with it, but one thing that I feel like it's missing right now, and I don't know if it's coming in a future build, because this is the official release of it, is the actual like Play Store to put apps on there. Like it comes preloaded with all the main, Chrome, Google, Gmail, your Meet and YouTube and everything like that. But I'm struggling to find, without kind of backdooring it, how to put apps on there, because when I go to what it's called here, let's see, it's the like the Play Store, but it's the online version of it. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't let me load them on there. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. It runs really smooth on there. If you're just needing web browsing and doing all that, it's just runs really good. It feels like it should. It's actually what's controlling my background monitor as well right now. So you can do multi screens with it and everything. So maybe we'll comment on it a little bit more once I have a chance to dig into it.
Now, if I'm correct, the Chrome OS Flex is built upon like Linux basically. So I'm wondering if you know what distribution it's closely connected to, you might be able to install from, like, if it's closer to like Ubuntu or Manjaro, is it called, or these other distributions.
Okay.
or like Debian packages. There might be a way to do that, but that's kind of like beyond the normal technical for most users. You just want to store and click on it and be like, I want this. I want Spotify. I want this. I want this installed.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't, and I don't know if that's still locked down and coming in like future updates or whatever. I'm not sure, but the feel of it runs really fast and smooth as it should, especially on my laptop. But
yeah, it should.
Yeah. So yeah. And my laptop though was not on the official approved list of 400 devices that it was said it would work on. So just because it's not on that list doesn't mean it won't work. Those are just guaranteed basically by Google to work.
Yeah.
So, but we do have a question of the day. Oh, actually, before we get to that, I did do a poll on my channel. So there was 114 respondents, and it says, do you have an old computer that you plan to install Chrome OS Flex on? What's your guess, Stephen, on what percentage?
Well, you already told me beforehand, so I'm already like tainted with the results.
Okay, never mind. You could have like guessed, and then I would have been like, you're right. Yeah, so 10% said yes, they have a computer they're planning on installing Chrome OS Flex on, which was
about 12 people.
Actually was almost surprised that it was at 10% because of how many people don't know what it is. 31% said no, and 60%, that doesn't add up to 100, but that's what the poll said. That's 101. But 60% said, what is Chrome OS Flex? And I think there would be a lot of that 60% that probably have an old computer kicking around holding a door open that would be interested in installing Chrome OS Flex and giving your old computer some new life. So yeah,
new life, and with especially for I think of people who may have old Windows 7 installs that could use a free operating system that
for email and
modern security, and don't need any more than that.
So in my former life, when I worked in a public facility helping people with technology, there was a heck of a lot of people who came in with old computers that this would have been extremely beneficial for, wondering why their computers were really slow. And basically the answer was you need a new computer, but this would solve their issue, because all they would do is go on YouTube and check their email type of thing. And this solves that problem. So all right, back to the question of the day.
Question of the day.
We were wondering with our topics today if we could go 20 minutes. We're at 50 minutes somehow. 48 minutes.
We talk too much.
Yeah. So you have $5. Are you going to Burger?
American or Canadian?
Let's call it American.
Okay, $5 American.
We'll call it $5 American, $6.50 Canadian. Are you going to Burger King or are you going to McDonald's? Those are your only choices.
You know what I would pick?
I think I know what you'd pick. Do you want me to guess what you'd pick?
Yeah, I want you to guess what
you'd pick. Burger King.
I would go to Burger King. Yes.
So here's my question. How hungry am I?
Okay.
So if I'm really hungry, I would go to Burger King because I think you'd get more. And if it's Whopper Wednesday, I'd go to Burger King.
Right.
But if I like McDonald's, though, has like good smoothies and iced coffees for cheap. So if I'm just wanting like an iced coffee and maybe a chicken wrap, then or something like that, then I go to McDonald's. So but if I'm wanting like a Big Mac meal somehow with my $5, like I go to Burger King.
So you don't want coffee from Burger King?
Okay. The worst coffee I have ever had in my life by far was at Burger King in Washington State.
Now, but you were saying how in Canada here, McDonald's coffee is actually really, really good.
Oh, it's way better than McDonald's coffee in the US. Like it's
right. You're saying how in the US it's not the same. It's not as good as it is up here. That they've
unless they've changed it down there. Like up here, it's They've
Very
changed,
good.
from what I've heard, they've changed the blend to compete with Tim Hortons.
Like I would rather have a regular coffee from McDonald's over Starbucks. That's how good
yeah, McDonald's coffee here is good. Like I really like Canadian McDonald's coffee.
Yeah.
American McDonald's coffee, not so good. I feel like they bought it from the rest area and then resold it to me.
You know what's funny about this? The Tim Hortons now in Canada is owned by the same company as Burger King. Am I right?
I think so, or at least it was.
Yeah, last week checked.
And this is all our opinion, not fact. So
yes.
All right. Well, I'd love to hear it. Cody, what would you do if you're watching still? You probably left us.
$5. If I went to Burger King, I'd want to go for the King deal where you get 2 burgers, a drink, and fries for that much money. And I'm sold.
All right. Yeah. It all depends on how hungry I am. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Cody says he would go for, what did he pick?
Oh, Cody, thanks. Burger King.
Cody, next time you're in town or I'm where you're at, let's go to Burger King.
Do you still have a Burger King?
We still have a Burger King. Yeah, we have the OG Burger King that's been here for like 30 years.
Yeah. And we have a Burger King. I actually went there like a month ago with my son. And once you get past the old rickety building and you get your feet unstuck from the floor,
it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Yeah, don't just avoid walking in front of the soda machines.
they can save you money because they don't pay anybody to clean the floors, so they put the savings towards you. So
yeah. Although you know what, I actually like their onion rings. Man, I don't know. We're not talking about tech at all anymore.
We should bring this episode to an end. We're going so far.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, let's wind it down there. Any other thoughts there, Stephen, for today?
Any other thoughts for today? Well, no, not really. But we'll see what next week we have for technology news and articles we can discuss. See if there's anything Intel related maybe next week we can maybe talk about. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Sounds good. Any other motherboards and joining the scandal? So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there. We appreciate all of you who joined us today on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, Cody, and all of our podcasting platforms that we're on. We do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because you want to see our faces in 1080p, because we want to see our faces in 1080p as well. And yeah, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, where you're from. And until next time, this has been the Tech Chit Chat Show. Take care and goodbye.